Howdy everybody. This video is going to be in a couple parts, but I wanted to go over showing off my black walnut dyed UCP or ACU camo in the summertime. When I made it, it was fall time. It makes really great fall camo, and it makes pretty great winter camo here because we very rarely are covered in a solid blanket of white for a long period. For that, you probably just need all whites, and that's kind of consistent anywhere that's all snow. But we have a lot of thaws, so generally anything that's good for fall is good for winter. And early spring, of course, before the things really start getting green, it's still pretty great. But I've always said if you can only own one kind of camo and you live in my environment, the Midwest, Eastern Woodlands, generally browns and tans blend in pretty well in the woods year round. They just won't blend well when you're out and about in the open areas. So to start off with, I'm going to start walking towards roughly the area I filmed last time, for those of you who watched the last video last fall. And you'll probably start seeing it, if you don't already see it, the jacket that I dyed. Forgive all my other stuff out here. This is, a general channel, not just camouflage, but I mainly do gardening and smithing. But preparedness in general is pretty good. In here you can see, granted the tree is wet and the jacket's not really wet, so it'd be a little darker, but it does blend in with tree trunks relatively well. At a distance through the foliage, it's not the easiest thing in the world to spot. Down on the ground, it can be a pretty good thing, but of course any camo, once you get up this close, you're generally going to notice it, you're going to spot it, but it's not the worst thing in the world. The hat is the wettest part. I haven't been out in the rain too bad, so it's drying out, but if I hang up the hat especially, it blends in relatively well. Same thing, just thrown on the floor next to trees. You can get an idea. Yeah, I got a gnome patch as a gift. But camouflage itself isn't the worst, but of course it kind of sticks out on the green background. So you got to have denser woods than this. This is just a couple trees. So we're going to make a cut and compare a couple different spots. See you in a minute. Alright, same deal. This is just out on an open lawn. I'm sure you can notice it right away. This is one of the spots that, like I said, anything but deep green really isn't going to handle anything here out in the open. It just isn't going to work well just in a place like this. You got to be in the woods for this kind of camo to work here year round. Out in the open out here where it's real green, you need really deep green consistently. The old woodland is even not quite green enough to truly blend in great here, but it's a lot better than this. But of course, the whole reason I did this was because UCP camo is so bad in nearly all environments out here, and once you dye it with black walnuts, it works a whole lot better. So let's find a little bit more wooded area. Try it there next. Alright, so here we're still not quite in deep woods, but this is closest I kind of have on property if I'm not actually going out on a hike to film something. So here you can kind of see it. I made sure it's in plain view right in the center. I'm not trying to give any advantage to the camo. I want you to be able to evaluate the camo in your choice for your circumstances. I'm not trying to show it off in any way. I'm just trying to give it an example to you guys. Sorry, I'm now going to zoom in to really give you an idea. That's what it's going to look like inside the woods. I'd say it blends in pretty good. Again, especially considering everything's wet and the jacket's not wet. Everything would either be a little bit lighter if it's dry, or the jacket would be darker because it gets wet. So as we come around here, less foliage. Give another example. Okay, with the foliage in front of it, you can kind of see it. It's kind of noticeable, but it's still not the worst in the world. It's still not the worst in the world, but like everything, once you're right up on it, of course it's going to stand out. But it's okay for For a camouflage that really is most suited for fall, it's not that bad. And the main thing, if you're new to all this, is that UCP and ACU camo is not really desirable. No one really wants to buy it. So since no one wants it, it's pretty cheap to buy most of the time. You can find like pants and dress shirts and all that stuff for $3 to $5 at some places. And you can then dye it with black walnut dye, and it works a whole lot better in my climate. So this is just sort of dressing it up. So giving you some visuals on it, some thoughts on it. Just wanted to have this to compare to that older video. Excuse me, like I said, that older video compared the two in fall. Now I'm just going to show it off in summer. I don't really have any other good examples of any other environments out here, except maybe like an uncut lawn. There's an area we haven't got to yet, but yeah, it's going to stand out there. So pretty much just inside the deeper parts of the woods, this stuff isn't too bad. So there's just my take on it. I might do a part 2 when it dries out again, give it another shot, but I just wanted to give an update on it, share my thoughts. I'll see y'all in another video, and hope you learned a lot from this one. I'll see you in another video as soon as I can. Goodbye, everybody.